Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. That is the AC Show. My name is Chris, aka Mr. Cross Science, and this guy to my left is
Aaron, aka the Handy Outdoor Nerd. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening.
yes. How is everybody doing today? It is great, great, great to have you. We got some people filtering in, and I'm real excited. I'm real excited. Today's gonna be a little bit fun and a little bit not fun, but still pretty fun. You'll see. I want to talk about some stuff today. We might get a little bit serious. So, I'm just saying. How you been, Aaron?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. That's good.
I
Today's an
see.
important day.
You haven't put all your yearly supply away yet.
Yeah. So, my wife, she was like, hey, so I'm gonna go to Globe with my mom. She wants to go do some shopping. So she left early in the morning, and she didn't get back till like seriously like 8 o'clock the other day. She went drove an hour and a half because I live out in the middle of nowhere. So she went and drove an hour and a half to go to a grocery store and just they had they had cans of soup on sale for like a quarter and like cans of canned vegetables on sale for super cheap. And so she just went and bought a whole bunch of canned goods and stuff for our food supply. But they're
Nice.
too heavy for her to put away herself, so I put them away. But she said she was gonna put dates and write dates and stuff on them before I can put them away. So waiting for that, and then
Do that.
stuff to put away. Yeah. What do you guys think of my lighting today? I'm trying something new here. Adding some extra light so that people can see my. Why would anybody want to? I should turn it off. Huh? Nobody wants to see that.
That's sacrifice. Well, your wife apparently likes to see their face, so there you go.
True. That is true.
So, as you know, I've been working on this wonderful little part for a while, trying to get it to work properly.
Yes.
And so the problem they had was they couldn't get this to go on because I made a bunch of different variations. I made the this bottom piece here the thickness that this one is. I also made it like super thick. Try to make it strong. A bunch of ones that I tried on, see how they work. Well, they weren't going to go on because they just wasn't going to fit on there. So like, all right,
Right.
well, let's try something else. I actually got one to work finally. Come to find out that my work, we have the same kind of metal in the drop ceiling on the width. So I can test them at my work when I get there.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you can see the difference.
It's pretty fuzzy on my side. You're looking pretty.
Yeah, the problem with this camera is I can't focus manually. It's one thing I don't like about this camera. Well, here, you know what? I'll just pull up Fusion. That would be a lot easier to show. Come on. All right, there we go. Please, the fun.
Oh, you want me to do that?
Yes. All right, so here's part of my revision I did was this piece here. Actually, I have a part that drops down in, so I was able to do that.
Okay, so
And
what is
then
this
that's
thing?
dipped down
Because
in.
I don't know that you've ever really described to us what this thing is.
It's a clip. It's pretty much what it is. It's a clip that you can't buy anywhere. So
What is its purpose?
To hold this up to drop ceiling.
What is that? Was it a light?
It's a no. This is the Wi-Fi antenna for a hospital.
Oh, it's like a little router.
It's an antenna. Literally goes in each and every room to give that room service. Well, they can't replace those normally. So I finally went through and worked on it and figured out what I needed to do. So what I did was,
Make one out of
you can
metal.
see the difference in the thickness. So you got all that thickness there, but you see how thin I've got it here. Now I actually need to make it a little bit thicker here. So go through and edit my sketch. And one thing I love about Fusion 360 is when I go to edit a sketch, just do it.
Just move the
Tell it
points on that
finish,
for me.
and it's made it thicker. So the funny thing is that actually looks like Mewtwo's tail.
Yeah, I can see that. But so the question
But
that I have about that though is the
yeah,
reason why it's so thin because the ceiling tile on the other side needs to fit?
so thin here is because it wasn't able to flex like I wanted it to. So I made it thinner here, so this actually has some give to get into there. Hey, auto drop. Hey, Kathy.
What's going on, guys?
So that's what I did there to get that to actually fit. Right. So I take the ceiling drop ceiling metal at my work, and I just kind of go up to it and just push the piece onto it and see if it will actually clip into place. So I got this one to work, but the downside to this one is that it was just too thin. Good grief! Come on, there, you can see that.
You're pretty pixelated on my side. I don't know what other
Yeah,
people
I don't.
see, but I
Oh,
am
let's see. Let
seeing.
me do this. Camera. Advanced. 720. How's that? Any
Looks
better?
better. Looks better a little bit.
All right. Well,
It's a little
you
fuzzy,
can
but
see that
it's
the
not.
part's not on there anymore. The part's not on there anymore because it was just too thin there. That whenever I went to kind of see if I can get it to work, to kind of press down to see if it flexed at all, like this, it flexed, but it also made it weak, and now it's broke. I mean, I was able to actually use it as it was, but it was weak, and I wasn't going to use that as a test part to send off or an actual part to send off.
Right.
But I've actually had it, got it modified. I'm going to pop Fusion back up real quick for me. That I've got a two-part system for it. I've got my little screw there that is going to be resin printed to get the threads, and then that part sets right in there, and then all that does is that sets this part sets up against the drop ceiling tile here and holds that bolt into place, but that's also locked into place so it won't turn right there, so then they can actually screw the piece into it. So I actually go and move it back over.
I like
That's
it.
how it
I
looks.
like it. I like it.
Now I've modified it, so now it's got a bigger gap here on the outside than it originally did. because the problem I was having was my 3D printed part and my resin printed part meeting up properly, because there was the drooping a little bit from when it printed there. So I wanted to give a little bit of extra room, if that would help it. So there's that. So my revision. Oh, Kathy's zooming around on us.
Oh boy. We need Brian in here bad. We need some dad jokes.
So that's what I've been working on with that. Not resin printed in a while, because I've been trying to get this going and squared away. Also, I had my friend, he had got me the measurements in millimeters, so I had actually gotten the part 3D printed for like the drop ceiling tile. So then I was like, all right, well, that worked. And as you can see, there's a bit of a problem. I broke it.
Well,
so
I've got a cool print to show off.
All right, let's see it.
I have a keychain.
Oh, Chris, I already knew you loved me.
I know you do. I know. The reason what makes this a cool print is the fact that this was modeled and designed by my 7-year-old. So this was I mean, he's made a few different models on Tinkercad around, and he always asks me, Dad, can you show me how to use Tinkercad? Dad, can you show me how to use Tinkercad? And so he was just kind of messing around the other day, and he said, Dad, I want to make a keychain for you and Mom. And so he said, I wanted to say I love you. So he chose the letters and he moved them around or whatever. And he said, Dad, how do I get them all lined up? And so I just went through and showed him how the alignment tool works on Tinkercad. And so he got them all lined up so that they were perfectly straight. And he's the one that placed all the letters and put them in there. And we printed it. He wanted to print this in 2 colors. So he wanted to print it because he knows that my favorite colors are orange and blue. So if you guys look at my my background colors and on my YouTube channel, I've got a couple of different little images and stuff on there, and they're all orange and blue because those are my favorite colors. And so he said he wanted to do it orange in the background and he wanted to do blue letters, but I didn't have time to sit there and wait for it to print so that I could switch the colors halfway through. So it ended up just printing in 1 color, but we could print it again. This was just a little proof of concept. He wants to print it in PETG.
Yeah.
And so I put it on my work keys, and it's really, really big, and it is gigantic, but it was made by him, and I think that's really cool. So
Nice.
So that's my cool print. I didn't make anything awesome this week, but my son did. So I think it counts.
Well, there you go. It counts.
It does.
So I mean, you still had to help him out a little bit. So
yeah, well, I mean, I helped a little bit, but I mean, 90% of it was all him, and it was just I set him up on Tinkercad, and I started him on the little tutorial and stuff. I started him on the tutorials and stuff, and then he just took off with it, and he made the whole thing. And then he was learning how to change colors and stuff on Tinkercad so that he could see what it would look like in different colors. And so he wanted mine to be orange and blue, and then he's been messing around with it and changing different colors to see what colors he wants for my wife. But he wants to print one for me and he wants to print one for his mama too. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's not as cool as your thing, but it's cool because he made it. So I think that's awesome.
Well, yeah. Well, mine's a lot of testing and trial and error and so. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It's done fairly decent.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
I did discover.
I hope that I hope that it can. Is the original part metal?
No, nope, it's plastic.
Is it injection molded?
Yeah. Yep, injection molded.
All right. I got a project that I need your help with.
All
Slash,
right.
maybe people in chat know a better answer than I do. So, so my dad, we if you're a fan of the show, you maybe have heard me talk about my dad a little bit, or maybe you've seen him on the stream or whatever. But a little bit, he uh, he hurt his foot a few years ago, like maybe 6 years ago or so. He broke his foot, shattered it. He's had multiple surgeries and operations. He has a lot of issues with his feet, and so he's basically he's in a chair all day long. And so he's got a lazy boy recliner, and his lazy boy recliner a couple days ago he went to put his feet up, and he snapped the handle on his lazy boy recliner. And so he called me and said, "Hey Chris, can you figure out a way to um, repair my lazy boy?" And so I've been working on trying to glue it back together. And I originally tried solvent welding it, and I said, I said it kind of feels like ABS, and I wasn't sure what kind of plastic it was, but I said maybe I can acetone weld it. So I got some acetone and spread it on there, pushed it together to see what would happen, and didn't do a thing. Acetone didn't dissolve it at all. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So I tried some JB
No, so
Weld.
then it's yeah.
What's that?
Well, then it's not ABS if the acetone will not dissolve it.
Right. So it's got a number on it, like you know how they number plastics.
What's the
Um,
number?
it's a number 8, and so I looked up number 8 plastic, and I can't remember what it was exactly,
Is
but
that
it is
HD?
it's ABAC,
Right,
acrylonitrile
ABAC.
butadiene acrylate plastic. So it's like it's similar to ABS because ABS is acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, and this is acrylonitrile butadiene acrylate. And so I thought
Yeah.
maybe it would work, um, but it did not. So
Um.
with super glue being cyanoacrylate, I thought maybe super glue would work, but I don't know. I tried this JB Weld. I just did a thin layer just in between it, and then I clamped it down, clamped it together, spread just a little bit around the crack, and after about a day, it snapped in half again. And so I'm trying to think if I'm trying to see if there's some sort of a. It's weird because the more I Google this ABAC plastic, the more it seems like it doesn't exist. Like nobody uses it or something because I don't get any search results from it like at all. So I've been trying to figure out how to
Well,
solvent weld this thing to make it nice and strong, and I just can't figure it out.
yeah.
So
how old is the chair?
I mean it's pretty old.
That's probably why. That's probably a plastic that people don't really use much
Yeah, it's pretty
nowadays.
old. So another thing though that I'm thinking about if I can't fix this is, did you guys know Lazy Boy has a forever warranty on their chairs? So, so if any piece of a Lazy Boy recliner ever breaks, you can go to a Lazy Boy distributor, seller, and they will file a little claim or whatever, and Lazy Boy will send you the parts for free. But they will not include labor. So if you have to have somebody fix it, you have to pay for them to do the actual labor, but the parts themselves are free. Luckily, this is just, I mean, it just has a little set screw on the back, and that's the only thing that
Yeah,
holds this
it's
thing up. So I'm gonna
pretty
probably just see
much
if I can get a
anybody can
new
do
part
that.
for it. I'm gonna see if I can get a new part
Now,
for it, but I don't know if they need to know like exactly what kind of chair it is or whatever. If I can just be like, hey, this broke.
now you know
But
what
it was
I
just
would
kind of a
do
thought.
actually.
What would you do?
All right, so hold your part up there.
Holding.
So I'll take the piece off of it. Let me see. Let me see where it's actually broken. Now, is did you put a piece down in there to hold it together?
No. This metal pig was in there already.
Okay, huh. I wonder if that was like a seam then, that where it broke. But what I would do is I would take the actual little gear part, that the little, I say gear,
Piston.
little part that's got the little teeth there. I would pop that out after I've sat there and run a template around it, and then just make one out of wood, and then just drill that part out and put it into place.
Make my own new handle. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I
that
would
would be
do.
pretty. That would be pretty sick. I'd say that'd be pretty sick. I could do
I
that.
mean, really, you've got caliper to measure. I mean, in tape measures. I mean, the caliper is going to give you your most accurate measures for what you need on doing that. But if you've got access to a drill press and stuff, just sit there and just cut the outline of it out of wood. Then figure out where your center needs to be from the outside of that and how big, and then just drill down to the depth you need for that, and then just set that into place, and then just JB weld it in there or
Yeah.
whatever you need to do. I mean, the nice thing is you can take little pieces of scrap and see how it, test on putting that in there and what you need. So there you go.
That's
Just
not
take it to a
that's not a
bandsaw and just
terrible
kind of cut it out.
that's not a terrible idea, Aaron. That's not a terrible idea.
That's what you got me for, Chris. That's what you got me for.
That's a good idea. I am gonna see if I can get a replacement from Lazy Boy though, because if they'll send me one for free, why not, you know? Also because
Yeah.
I'm missing the set screw anyways. But
Well, there's that.
I should try it because I bet I could shape this handle like on a belt sander or something. Shape the handle out.
Yeah.
Cut it out with a bandsaw, shape the handle out. I even have access to a laser that I could put my own custom design instead of Lazy Boy. I could be like
There you
unmotivated
go.
adolescent or something like that. You know, make my own custom brand.
Put motivator on there, so when it breaks, you're like, my motivator's broken.
There you go. There you go.
So we got a new meteorologist that started at where I work, and he has a dog, and his dog's name is Gizmo. He's got like I think it's a Shih Tzu is what he's got.
Right. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to find something. I I I found this video the other day and it's really cool. Have you heard of a tongue drum? You ever heard of a tongue drum?
I'm thinking. I'm not sure if I have.
I don't think that this is gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it because I don't think you'll be able to see you. I mean, you'll be able to see it maybe, but you won't be able to hear it. I don't think. But this thing is called a tongue drum. And so it sounds amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear this at all, but
Oh, I can hear it.
sounds. You can hear it? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's so cool. This thing is amazing. And it's not only is it amazing, it is gorgeous. It looks just beautiful. And so I want to make one so badly. I'm amazed at how good it sounds for its shape, you know? It's really, really
Yeah.
cool. So if you guys are interested, this YouTube channel, it's called Get Hands Dirty. It's called Get Hands Dirty. They've got 707 subscribers, or 707,000 subscribers, excuse me. It's amazing. It's amazing. But the sound is absolutely incredible. And so this is my newest idea for a project. And so I'm thinking about how I want to make this. Do I want to go through with like a jigsaw and try and cut it out and smooth it and make it nice and clean? Do I want to try some really thin wood and try like laser cutting something? Do I want to try um, possibly like a CNC, because my father-in-law is working on a CNC machine, and so I'm thinking of, this is something that I kind of want to make just because I think it would look so cool, and then it just has like an amazing sound coming out of it. Have you ever seen something like that before, Aaron?
I've seen stuff like that, but it's been made out of metal and it's kind of a dome shape and it's got flat spots all over it.
And Zach Scott
I
plays it,
don't remember what it's called.
a marimba.
No, you use your hands to do it. You literally tap it and it's metal. It sounds really cool. I don't know
Mm.
what it's called.
Auto Drop 3D seems like a good time to build a CNC machine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I agree with you, man, wholeheartedly. I want to. I keep seeing those Ivan Miranda videos where he builds the CNC machine with 3D printed parts, and I go, man, I could do that. I could do that, but
I
I
love
don't know.
Ivan to death. He is phenomenal. He does so many cool things. I'm like, oh, Ivan, I want to do that. And every time I want to try to do something like that, I just fail because I don't have time.
Yeah, I honestly,
or
I
the
would
or
love
the
to make
funds
some.
or the funds for that.
I
Time or
probably could find the
the
time, but
funds.
it's all about, how do you allocate your time? Like most of the time, a lot of my making that I do, it's all for this show. I'm able to set aside this 1 hour, hour and a half every week for this show, and you know, I spend a lot of time with my kids. Let me tell you, we got a good topic for the show today. I don't know if you read the description or if you saw what I posted on Twitter a few minutes ago, but today's going to be an interesting topic. We got a couple of things that I want to talk about that are kind of maker related, but maybe not necessarily maker related. But I want to know what you guys think about the topics that I'm going to bring up today. So, maybe we should just jump right on in. What do you think, Aaron? We good? Jump on in.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Um, so I've been teaching this class through a website called code.org, and so I've been using code.org. Hold on, my computer's making a weird noise. It's probably not going to blow up, right? So I've been using code.org, and I've been teaching my students for the last couple of weeks code.org, and they're learning some basic coding stuff. Right now they're working on HTML coding, and they're learning like how web pages work, and they're having a lot of fun because um, they're doing they're messing around with websites that they use at school, and it's actually kind of fun, but like it's a little dangerous for the teachers that don't know what they're talking about, but for me it's really funny. So what they're
That's
doing is
hilarious.
they're taking like reading tests and stuff online because it's like all web based, their assignments and stuff. So they'll be taking these reading assessments online, and if they don't do well enough to pass, they'll open up the inspector and they'll change the score that they got on the quiz so that it reads a passing score. And then they bring their Chromebook or whatever up to the teacher. And they're like, look, I got an 87 or something, when really they got like a 67 or a 57. And so it's been causing some issues for some of the other teachers, but I think it's really clever and funny. So I've been having to like send out emails to all the other teachers, be like, hey, so, you know, just so you know, it's totally okay to just click refresh on that page and see what happens. So it's been a little bit fun to see how they're able to manipulate parts of the web page now that they know a little bit of HTML. And so, I mean, maybe some of the other teachers aren't exactly happy with me right now, but I think it's funny. I think it's fun. I think they're.
Hey,
I mean, the little
you're
kids.
doing your job. You're teaching them.
So one of the lessons that we've been learning about, since we're talking about, web browsers and web safety especially, is we've been talking about what information you share on social media. And it's kind of a really scary thing to them that they're just unaware of, that when you post things to social media, it opens your family up to a lot of dangerous activity. And so, to give you guys a couple of examples that I've seen, just
Hey,
to make
John.
you guys aware. Hey, John, how you doing? Um, so just to tell you guys a couple of examples that I've seen, just to help keep you guys aware of what's going on, is um, everyone on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whenever you're on your social media platform, whatever social media platform it is that you frequent or whatever, as you're scrolling through posts, a lot of times you'll see an advertisement for some sort of a survey, and it'll be like, answer these 10 questions and we'll tell you which Disney princess are you, or answer these questions, what I'm talking about. Answer these questions and
I
we'll
know
tell
what
you
you're
your
talking
age.
about.
So they have those surveys
Talk about
all
the
over the
things
place.
that I do not do.
They have these surveys all over the place, and when you are when you take these surveys, they're like, do you like dogs or cats? Have you had a childhood pet? What's your age? Things like that. So they're putting all of these clues together, and then if they're able to get into some sort of um, if you once they have all this information, they exactly, your birthday gives you your pimp name auto drop. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And so they try to log on and steal your identity. They try to log on to your bank account, hack into your email, whatever it might be, and it says, we don't recognize this account, or we don't recognize this computer, this device. Answer these questions, and they're always like, what was your childhood pet's name, or enter in your birthday or whatever. And when you go to pick up medications, like if I go to pick up my wife's medications, I say, I've got to pick up medications for my wife, and they'll say, what's her birthday, and so it's really easy, if, especially if you know that somebody, I mean, there's a lot that could go into that. And so, that's just one example of them, of bad, evil people getting your information and taking and using it in a bad way. And so we did this activity with my students that was called, uh, what was it called? Social Sleuth, where it's basically this worksheet where they have on code.org, they have these fake profiles set up for, there's like a face space account and a chirper account and an instant frame account, right? And so they have these fake accounts set up for these people, and you go through these accounts, and between the three accounts, you're able to put together, like, what is their address, what is their complete name, what is their birthday, what is their phone number. Like, you're able to gather all kinds of information just by stalking essentially these people on social media. And so it's a really, really scary thing. And so that's what we've been trying to go over with my students this week, is teaching them what is okay to share on social media and what's not. Because a lot of times what happens is you have these teenagers that they don't know better. They're posting all kinds of stuff on social media, and then maybe the teenager isn't really in danger of having their bank account stolen because they don't have a bank account yet, but maybe their parents are, or something like that. another example of sharing too much information on social media that I've seen, especially lately, is, you know, first day of school, right? First day of school pictures. Everybody wants to show off their kids. First day of school, they're wearing their backpack, and you have them stand outside the front door, and they're holding the little sign, and it has their name, and it has their age, and it has it has their name, it has their age, it has, their homeroom teacher, what school they're going to, whatever, whatever. And so you have all this information, and what's really scary is you have these people on, like, the dark web or whatever. They see a post like that, they're part of, a local moms group. It's some 40-year-old dude from, a completely different state, but they're part of some, moms group or whatever on Facebook, and they're scrolling through these Facebook posts, and they see this little girl going to school, and they just type up a little thing, and they just say, female, age 8, blonde hair, blue eyes, starting bid $2,000. And it's super scary, super terrifying to think about this, because these guys on the dark web, they'll bid and bid and bid. Highest bidder, the guy sends the information, sends the email. This is their school. This is what time it gets out. This is which classroom they're going to be in. And all of that stuff you can find super easily online, you know, by using, Google. And so part of
Yeah.
this social sleuths thing we're finding is, um, one of the girls that we were, fake stalking, these fake profiles they made up. It was like, I'm going to the fair tonight, and the girl's like, hey, can I come with you? And she says, yeah, but you got to come here if you want to ride. And she goes, oh, you live on the corner of 22nd and 20th, right? And she goes, yeah, blue house. And so, it's a completely innocent thing, but if you know what city she goes to, because she's posted something about the high school football game that she went to, so you know what city she lives in, and then you can, on Google Earth, look up those cross streets. You can see exactly where she lives, and find exactly all that information. And it's just really, really kind of a scary thing. I don't know about this class. I mean, it's not the only thing that we've been learning on a drop, but it's something that I feel like they need to learn a lot about digital citizenship. They need to learn about, safety online, and making sure that, when you're doing stuff online, you're doing so in a safe way, because the world's a scary place. And you know, when I was a little kid, we didn't have the internet. I didn't have internet. I didn't have cell phones, whatever. And now we're living in a world where there's a lot of really scary, dangerous stuff going on. And so I think it's really important for everybody, not just the kids in my class, but I think for everybody, to learn more about digital citizenship, anti cyberbullying kind of stuff, but also keeping your own information safe. Because if you're not keeping your information safe, you leave yourself open to all kinds of fraud, and it's a little scary.
Yeah, I get sent. Oh well, here, do this. Not like I'm not doing that. I know the crap that happens with that stuff. I'm no. Mm-mm. Ain't touching that. I admit
You
the
guys remember the
only
old
one
chain?
that I've what
You guys remember the old chain emails? Forward this to 20 friends, or else.
chainmail. Chainmail. That's what they call it. Chainmail.
Chain mail. Yeah. So
For it,
I mean,
it was actually like 10 of your friends, blah blah blah. There's texts like that too. But I admit the last time I actually did any Facebook age related type thing is because Jimmy did it, and it was, well, for like older people, and I got like all but like one thing on it. It's like, so I'm over 40 then, right?
well, you remember that quiz that you and I took that said that they can tell where you're from based on the language you
I never
use?
took it.
You never took it? It was it
I've
was
never
just like
taken
a
it.
it was just like a multiple choice thing, and it was like, do you say soda or pop? So what I think I called you, and it was all, what do you call a carbonated flavored carbonated beverage or something like that? And you're all, it's a pop, and I was like, it's a soda. What did your wife say? I'm trying to remember.
Same thing, I guess. It doesn't matter. I just say what pops in my head. It's a pop. It's a pop. That's what I've called it. I've called them a soda pop. Cola.
Everything's a cola. What if it's a Sprite? Is Sprite still a cola?
Sprite is still a cola. It's a fizzy drink.
Fizzy drink. You know,
Really,
in presidential.
I don't drink pop. The only thing I actually drink is a ginger ale. That's only because, well, I'll do Sprite now and again if I need to, but a ginger ale if my stomach's upset or something. But
Auto
that's about
drop.
it.
Auto drop? Are you talking about? Are you talking about like a drinking fountain, or are you talking about like a cup or a water bottle? I don't understand the. But I think you're talking about a drinking fountain. Is probably what you're going for. What do you call it, Aaron? Just drinking fountain?
Now you talk about where the water comes out.
The water comes out and you put your mouth over it. And
Oh, okay, because there's fountain drinks where you get pop from.
right. We're not talking about fountain drink. I'm
Okay,
talking about a water fountain, a drinking fountain. A
water fountain is
bubble?
usually
Who
what I've
calls it a
called it.
bubble? Do you call it a bubble? The heck is a bubble? I've never
I
heard of
think
a
I've
bubble.
heard it called bubble before. I
I've
think I've
never
heard
heard
that
it called
before.
bubble.
But usually it's a water fountain. It's
Rhode
usually
Island is a bubbler? Rhode Island is called a bubbler. Who knew? Who knew?
Rhode Islanders.
Rhode Islanders. Yeah, that's awesome. Bubbler. Anyways, that was one topic, and it got a little bit dark, and so we'll move on to a different topic. Which it actually leads right into the second topic. It leads right into the second topic. So here's the other thing, right? So I've been thinking about this a lot lately. With 2020, I think it's being hyped up a lot as pretty much the worst year ever. Yeah, I call it a soda auto drop. Aaron calls it a pop, and we have this discussion probably more than any healthy human being does. But we talk about it a lot, surprisingly.
We do.
So so 2020 has been named as one of arguably one of the worst years like in the history of years. And it's been pretty rough on a lot of people. You know, personally, I've felt a lot of stress from 2020, but I haven't actually noticed it to be that bad. I mean, because I haven't really had like riots and stuff going on around my house, and I got a stimulus check, man. That, and so because I live out in the middle of nowhere, I'm able to kind of avoid a lot of the controversy and stuff that's out there. And not to say anything. I mean, if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. I don't want to take away from that. But here's here's the thing: is 2020 has been rough for a lot of people, and I personally, I'm like a sponge for energy, right? So whenever I have people around me that are being super negative, if I'm surrounded by just that negativity all the time, then um, if I'm around a lot of negative people all day long, or if I'm teaching a class and the students in my class are being super negative, then I um, I soak that up, and so I kind of reflect that negativity. So if I'm having a class that's having a really hard time with negative energy and buying into lessons and talking seriously or whatever, then um, I really, really feel that negativity. So my one of my really big goals this year, because it's been really negative for a lot of people, is trying to find that positive light, that positivity. What can you do to try and get that positivity back, um, so that you don't reflect that? Because for me, I mean, I soak it in, and I really feed off the energy of others. So my question for you guys in chat and for you, Aaron, is what can we do in 2020 right now to help have a positive outlook on life and help to increase our positivity when we're surrounded by so much seemingly negative news? Yeah, I agree, auto drop. 2020 hasn't been that bad. Oh, I just there were some people that were spamming or um, leaving some possibly inappropriate messages, and so I just put them in timeout for a little bit, just so that they can be aware. We have guidelines here, of what's skippable, what's not. So I just put them in timeout for like 5 minutes, and then if they come back, then great. If they don't come back, then you know it is what it is. Are you watching a video?
I'm trying to get to a spot.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that noise? What am I listening to? I do have guidelines. Yeah, I do indeed have guidelines. Can't tell what it's saying. Not any better.
Why don't you think how beautiful it is out here? Why don't you say something righteous and hopeful for a change?
I'm something righteous and hopeful for a change. Yeah, that's the thing, is trying to find those positive moments, trying to find that positivity, because there's so much negative stuff going on everywhere, and so trying to just keep that positivity, that is, I think, the key to surviving. So I'll drop. I do have 3D printers at my school. The school purchased two 3D printers they're Robo C2s. And the Robo C2 is supposed to be like one of the top classroom printers, but I have not been able to get really any successful prints. I did print one Benchy, um, but I'm having a lot of struggles with them. So I do have those two 3D printers at my school, but they don't work, and I really need to get with Robo and order the right parts to fix it. The school has authorized me to purchase the parts to fix them. It's just a matter of making sure that I get the right parts. But unfortunately, I think I need to replace the entire main board Arduino setup, and so it's going to be quite a pricey fix. So I just haven't done it yet. But I personally have 3D printers that I keep at the school. So I have an Ender 3 and I have an ANET A8 that I keep at the school that I use at the school, but they're my own personal 3D printers.
Yeah, I keep all mine here. Speaking of printers, I still need to contact Anna Cubic to either, I don't know, heck, I don't even know if I've said this. I need to contact them to get a replacement power cord because one of my power cords is fried. It won't work. And it's the one for the wash cure station over there.
Really? You have a fried power cord already? Does it use that like standard computer plug that all the other printers use? The
Well,
little
if I got to use it, I
3-prong?
just unplug.
No, it's like a barrel plug or something.
Kind of like what a laptop normally would plug in with. One of these little guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's some sort of a brick.
Yeah, it's got a brick. And I've not tried taking it apart because I've not had the time to do it.
Well, you just got it. You
To
just
see if
got it.
there's
If
a
your
fuse
power
in
cord
there.
is fried already, I mean, you just got it. So
I know. Well, the problem is I had my space heater over there plugged into the same surge protector, and it kept flipping the breaker on the surge protector when it goes to kick back in, and it literally kept shutting off my anicubic photon. And apparently my wash cure station's breaker got fried. How that got fried, I have no idea, but it got fried.
Auto drop. You don't have a pile of AC adapters lying around? Where's your drawer, Aaron? Where's your drawer? You know the drawer. Everyone's got one of those drawers that just has the spare cords in it, right?
It's over there.
I've got two of them.
I've actually
Yeah,
gotten rid of a
QC should be
lot of
better.
cords though, because I've been told that I'm a bit of a pack rat and a hoarder a little bit. Not a natural one, just it's like, oh, well, you've got this. It's like, yes, because there's a time that this piece is going to be useful for something.
You
And
never
that's happened
know.
numerous times.
You never know.
Um,
You never
but I have gotten rid of a lot of different things.
Dude, so when I installed the ceiling fans in my house, when I first moved into my house, I replaced all my ceiling fans. And when I did, like they come with enough wire to be able to wire it with like a, I don't know, like a 6 foot down rod, because apparently that's really normal. So they come with enough cord to do like a 6 foot down rod. And I always put the shortest little down rod on my ceiling fan as possible because I have short, low ceilings. And so I end up having to
Here, I
cut like
thought it was
four
because
and
you're
a half.
short.
Well, because my house is short, but I'm tall. So when I hang pictures, my wife makes me move them down like a foot lower than I want to hang them because she's like, we don't live in a house full of giants. And so, but anyways, so I hang the ceiling fans as high as they can go, and I'll snip off like 4.5 feet of wire off of the backside. And so that 4.5 long piece of wire, I'm like, hey, this is good wire. I might be able to use this for a project. And so I always keep it like I keep everything, man. It's a fatal flaw of mine. We can't all
Oh,
be
yeah,
perfect.
I usually keep a lot of stuff for working on things and fixing things and a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, right down here, you can't see it, but right there, yeah, right. If I can aim right
Tell me
there.
what you're pointing at, Aaron.
Can't see it.
We can't see it anyways.
There is a old scanner that's got a stepper motor, like a NEMA 17 stepper motor.
So you're just keeping the scanner just in case you need to harvest the motor sometime?
Actually, my plan was to turn that into an actual printer, use the base of it
Oh,
for a
no.
printer. Which I
Yeah,
could. I could
wanna-
actually turn it into one of those belt printers.
I should. I
really
mean, I
wanted
should
to.
be better at stuff like that. Like, I need to go get some old. I need to go find just some old stuff, like old junk that people are putting on like Facebook Marketplace for free, or like garage sales or whatever, and just harvest all the motors and stuff out of them, and just see what I can make. I would love to make a cheap little 3D printer, or like a plotter, like a
Just
little
come here,
pen
Chris.
plotter.
Chris, come here. Come here. Come here to
Come
Missouri.
to you,
Help me take apart the big copy printers I've got in the garage.
dude. So I would very much like to take some stuff apart and just see what I can make with it. Just
I've,
put the motors
I've got a
together.
lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff to take apart.
I'm really good at taking stuff apart. I'm not super great at putting stuff back together. So actually I
I
do
do
okay.
both. I do both.
If I took it apart, I can usually get it back together. Oh, the hang plotter. Do you remember the hang printer that who built it? Tom's 3D?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I was actually going
That
to make one.
that was pretty sick. And I couldn't believe the
I,
actual
I, I did
detail you
actually
could get.
did actually print the triangle piece for it. Yeah.
Really? I couldn't believe the kind of detail that he got
Yeah.
out.
I did.
Yeah, a CNC router. I could build
Yeah.
a CNC router with. I have a Ryobi 18 volts, like a roto zip kind of thing, and I just go, man, I bet I could find some sort of a mount for that, or I could design some sort of a mount for that, and I could make like my own little CNC router out of a little Ryobi hand router, and I think that would be so cool. But it's one of those things where, you know, how much time do I have for these projects? And if we throw thick thon into the middle of this, you know, it becomes obvious that maybe I need to practice and take some more classes on design before I start making, you know, CNC routers.
Yeah.
You can't post a link. I want to post a cool link. Auto drop. I don't have YouTube pulled up to be able to put you on as a mod, but if you send me an instant message on Twitter, I'll post the link for you. A CNC hang router? Oh, I've seen that
Yeah.
where it has the two cables, and
On
it
the
like
wall.
lays down against the wall. Yeah. And then
Well,
it
most of them are
comes
set at
back.
about an angle like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I was thinking of after you said
I
CNC.
have
My
seen
brain
it.
goes,
I'll drop if you send it to me on Twitter, I can put it in the I can put it in the stream. Oh yeah, you did send it. I'll put it up right now. I gotta open up Twitter though. What kind of a fool doesn't have his Twitter open 24/7, right? You guys like my
I
ringtone
don't.
though? It's pretty sweet. I just tweeted you. Auto drop. What a guy. Copy message. Let's see if I can post it. Boom. There you go. So it's in the chat. And here it is. It is a CNC hanging router, which is it looks pretty sick, honestly. It looks pretty sick. I don't know if you guys can click on that link, but I think you should be able to. If StreamYard works the way that it should work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then you'll be able to click on
It'll
that.
let people click on it.
So it's in the chat right now if you guys are interested. But it's pretty sick.
Yep. That's the same one I was thinking of.
Thanks, Auto Drop. That's really cool. The next thing that I also want to work on, I want to build a RetroPie arcade, but I want to build
Oh,
like a
I'm gonna make one.
I want to build like a big
I've got.
like a stand-up
Oh
arcade.
no. See, my idea on what I'm gonna do with making one, because I've got the Pi, I've got the heck, I've made a Retro Pi arcade. It was just I didn't have the actual controllers, which I'm actually going to be picking those up. I'm actually going to make a video on it. I'm going to pick those up. I'm going to make a wall-mounted one that you can stand up to it. It's not going to take up a bunch of room. It's going to be on the wall that people can stand there by. You can have two players. It's what I want. It's a two-player system mounted to the wall, but that you also have room underneath that you don't have just stuff under there. So it's just a box about yay big, about let's say 2.5, 3 feet wide by maybe 3, 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Depending on
So
the actual size that I need, and it's just going to be a wall mount, so you can
Auto Drop
stand
asked
there
if
and
I have
play.
one of those old tube TVs, and I don't. I mean, I could have, and I've had them before. But I tried to get rid of a bunch of junk and garbage in my house, and so I ended up throwing a lot of stuff away. I'm sure that I could go find one if I were
Now
to.
get yourself a monitor, whether it be a
Yeah,
TV or a
that's what I
monitor.
think I'm gonna
Do
do.
that,
Is
and you just rotate it. And awesome thing is, I actually found. I'll have to look it up and stuff and send you links to stuff on it. They've got this setup now for RetroPie. You use a Wii controller, and we've got 3D printers, so we can 3D print the little gun holster for it, and you
right.
use the Wii controller as your shooter games, for your shooters. And they've got specific actual stuff now. There's a bar that goes onto it that will work for that, and you literally can just use a Wii controller for that.
So I mean, I have a lot of really cool ideas. I would love to I just want to get like a monitor, or especially, you know what, right right now is a good opportunity. Like in late November, early December. You know why? Is because Walmart is having all those Black Friday sales on TVs, which means two things, right? So number one, you could just buy yourself a big old TV at Walmart that you could use. I mean, they've got TVs for like $100 for like a 32-inch or something TV, which would make a pretty good sized arcade cabinet. Or other people are going to be buying TVs, which means right now, if you look on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, you're going to have people trying to sell their old TVs because they just got new ones at Walmart. So
Yeah. Yeah, auto drop. So
just
this
go to the
thing that I'm
shop.
talking about is this, that Wii bar that goes above it? They've actually got one that's for the Retro Pi arcade that people have used for that to make it a shooter, so the Wii controller can be used for that. Because there's a lot of people that have Wii controllers that aren't being used anymore because a lot of people have gone to the Switch. So that just makes it a handy dandy little thing to be able to do those shooter games.
Yeah. So auto drop is just saying, why don't you just go to the dump? And I'm sure that I could find one at a yard sale, for cheap, or find one in the dump or whatever. And I probably will end up doing that. But if I come home with more garbage, then my wife might I might be sleeping on the couch. So,
Well, see, here's the funny thing is, garage sales and stuff like that, you can get monitors for cheap or free. So, and not to mention, if you did an arcade cabinet and you did a big tube TV, that's going to make it heavy. That's the only problem.
Auto drop. I just put you in as a moderator on my channel so that if you want to post links or whatever again, then it'll give you that opportunity. So, yeah, and that's see, and then here's the other thing with making one of those Retro Pi arcades that I really, really want to do is the emulators. I just think like it's the ROMs, really. It's the ROMs. One, I worry about getting viruses because I always feel like they're a little sketchy. And two, I always feel like I'm doing something illegal. And so
So it's not illegal to have the ROM if you have the cartridge.
What if I don't have a cartridge? Then it becomes a problem.
Well, that's why I said if you have it. If you have the physical game, it's not illegal. If you've got the actual physical copy.
Have you seen that RetroPie build where they built a projector in a lunchbox with a RetroPie?
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that one? So that they can just carry it around. They just carry it around, and they just open up the lid, pull the controller out, plug it in, and it's right there. Everything you need to do it on any wall or whatever. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
They're not selling the games. I mean, you're right. They're not selling the games anymore. And when you buy the games now, you're not even, I mean, because they're not making the games anymore, then if you buy the game, it's not like a portion of that sale goes to the original manufacturer. But I just still feel dirty about it. I don't know. Because I don't feel like I'm buying a legitimate game. I feel like I'm buying, bootleg copy of it. And you guys don't know me very well, I guess, but stuff like that bothers me. I don't rag on anybody else for doing it, but me personally, it just bothers me to take that step. okay, so let me give you an example, an idea about this here. So I had a buddy who I met while I was on my mission. I served a mission for my church. If you guys don't know, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I served a full-time mission in Brazil, where I lived there for 2 years in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I speak fluent Brazilian Portuguese, um, pork and cheese, and it's fun. Um, but while I was there, one of these guys that I met before his mission, he had downloaded a ton of bootleg songs. Like we're talking like tens of thousands of bootleg songs on what was it? I think it was LimeWire at the time. You guys remember LimeWire?
Yep. Yep.
So he had downloaded all these songs on LimeWire, and he felt bad about it. So before he left on his mission, he went through every single song that he had downloaded for free and paid for it on iTunes, so that the people that he had gotten those songs from would actually get the monetary attribution. So it was a lot of music, and it took him days and days and days to go through and purchase all of these songs. But he said he spent probably $10,000 on iTunes purchasing this music. Now, $10,000 seems like a lot of money, and it is. But this kid at 19 years old, let me tell you, he had been working for Microsoft for 3 years as a website developer. And his dad worked for Microsoft and got him a job at Microsoft as a website developer. And so what he would do is he would build websites, web pages for Microsoft, and he would meet like weekly with website designers and interior designers and to meet about color schemes and what makes it visually more appealing or whatever. And so he would create these web pages for Microsoft, and they'd pay him a ton of money to do it. Talk about a goody two-shoes. I know. Oh, hey, Teresa. So for some reason, StreamYard doesn't realize that there was a time zone change in in Arizona, or I guess that Arizona didn't change. And so when I set the stream to start at 9 o'clock my local time, which I don't know what it is your guys' local time, but I set it to start at 9 o'clock my local time, and StreamYard said that it was starting an hour later. So when I started the stream, it was like, "You're starting an hour early. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I said it at the time that I said to start it, but yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good old scout boy auto drop. Sorry. That's just one thing about me is I'm just an honest person. It's 4 p.m. I didn't get a notification though. I tagged you on Twitter, didn't I? Teresa or
Probably
Teresa
not.
or I don't know how to say your name.
Orisa.
Oh, sweet. Hey, I've been thrashing my anycubic photon. One more thing that I want to just mention is um, Josh, Alien Slacker from Alien 3D that does the UFO mystery boxes. T, or I'll just call you T. Um, so Josh, Alien Slacker, who does the UFO mystery boxes, he's doing a charity live stream tomorrow. So he's doing a charity benefit live stream, and it's supposed to be like a 24-hour stream, and I am going to be a part of it. It's going to start at what time do we start our stream?
It's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time for
10 o'clock Central Standard Time. I think it's starting at midnight Eastern Time.
which would be 11 o'clock Central Time.
So I think it's starting at noon Eastern Time or midnight. Excuse me, midnight Eastern Time, from midnight Eastern time until 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be on the live stream for that 4 hour block playing Dungeons and Dragons for my very first ever time. I've never played before, and I'm gonna be playing it for my very first time with my my wonderful dungeon master. Going to be the other Josh that we know. Josh got bored. Is going to be the DM. So if you guys are interested, it's going to start at whatever time it is right now. Whatever time it is right now, your local time is the time that it's going to start tomorrow night. So it's going to start at midnight Eastern time, which is 10 o'clock my time, which is about 11 minutes ago, whatever time zone you guys are in. So if you guys are interested in joining that stream, it's going to be fun. I'll try and post the stream on my Twitter account so that you guys can pop in and see the the absolute devastation. We put together, Josh and I put together a character who really likes to make things, but he's just not very good at it. So he has all of the tools and stuff so that he can make stuff, and I have like advantage and stuff on when I'm like investigating wooden objects and stuff like that. And so I have all these like really cool tools, whatever. I'm just really not good at making stuff, but I have all the tools to do it. So it's gonna be kind of fun. Um, and I can't even at this moment. I looked it up when he first asked me, um, but I think that the charity is called Extra Life,
Yeah.
extralife.org, which is about is it organ donations, blood? What is it?
I don't remember. You're
It's
asking me
called
to remember something I don't remember.
extralife.org. I'm gonna put a link. Are you going to be chaotic? Probably chaotic good is a good indication. Oh,
You know what
this
chaotic good
life.
is, Chris?
I do. I
Okay.
do. Um, oh, okay. So I guess it's when you play games to heal kids. That's what I'm gonna put a link in the chat right now. Extra-life.org. There you go. There's the link if you guys want to check out the charity that we're gonna be working with. But it's basically about raising money. It looks like it's powered through Twitch. So when you like stream on Twitch and stuff, then um, you stream on Twitch, and then people's donations and stuff go toward um, helping like children's hospitals and stuff. Looks cool. So, anyways, extralife.org. It's gonna be fun. Um, and I've never ever played Dungeons and Dragons before, so I've spent some really intensive sessions with Josh for the last couple of weeks just trying to figure out what the heck I'm talking about. I think I have an okay grasp on how the game is played, but it's going to be a little ridiculous and it should be funny at least. Maybe we'll have something more funny to talk about besides ThickCon. Um, so if you guys want to join up, that would be really cool, and we're doing that tomorrow. So. Um, do you got anything else you want to talk about, Aaron, before we go? We're about 15 minutes over, and I gotta make sure that my kids are all actually in bed asleep and not just faking it.
Not really.
No. Okay, so like I said, if you guys are following me on social media, then I'll make sure that I post a link to the stream. It sounds like it's probably going to be on Twitch. I'll post links to the stream so that you guys are able to pop in and see what's going on. And it should be good for a laugh, but it's going to be my very first time ever. I'm excited about it, so it should be fun. Aaron's too good to play Dungeons and Dragons. He plays Pathfinder.
I've not played it in a while, and well, 2 years actually, a little over 2 years.
No, it's been
And
no. because I remember. How old is Carter?
2.
Is he really 2 already? How long have we been friends, Aaron? I keep thinking that it has not been that
2
long.
years. It's 2 years, dude.
2
It's 2
years.
years.
Man. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's at Mr. Carl Site, right there on my photo. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching now, then great to have you. If you are watching this in the future, then greetings from the past. But thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week over on this beautiful man's channel. Yeah. So have a
All
great
right.
night making, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.
Take care, everybody.